G'day everyone, Kaleidow here and welcome to my channel. Hello, how are you all? Oh my gosh, well today I'm bringing you all a very interesting video. I am recreating my favorite dream house that I made when I was little in The Sims 2. So I'm of course recreating this to memory, like from what I can remember. It was so long ago, probably was in like 2009, 2010. No, even earlier than that actually. I think I got it in grade 7. So this, yeah, either 2007 or 2008. I would have made this house in The Sims 2. So The Sims 2 was actually the first Sims game that I had on PC. I had always played it beforehand on console, so I had no idea how much you could actually build in this franchise, and it was like a whole new world was just opened up to me, and I kind of just went ham with this house. I made like my dream house. I had made a whole bunch of other houses, but usually they were recreations of like my sister's house that she had just built. It was a Queenslander, so you know, it's one story, but it's like off the ground. But yeah, I remember I made that house. I was very proud of that one as well. If you guys want to see that in the future, let me know down below. But in this one, it was totally just like out of my own brain and just all of my own creativity. And I guess that is why it looks like a giant L. It just looks like a giant L. But the thing that I was just so proud about was this side little like garden slash pool area that had a waterfall that came down from a spa on a top level. It was all using the terrain tools in The Sims 2. You guys would have known that we had terrain tools where you could actually mold hills, and it was really cool. We had it also in The Sims 3. Unfortunately, we do not have that in The Sims 4. So you can see here at the beginning I had to kind of give the illusion of having terrain tools by using different levels of the house. So fingers crossed it doesn't look too ridiculous. It is a lot more steeper. Oh, it was pretty steep from what I remember, but yeah, I think I did all right, and I just had to make do. You know, we don't have everything in The Sims at the moment, in The Sims 4 at the moment, and I still feel like I was able to really encapsulate with using like the rocks and all of the rock walls and stuff, the feeling that I gave in that dream house that I made when I was little. I wasn't necessarily really little though. I was like 12, 13 maybe, but man, I was just so proud of this house, guys. I used to kind of build more modern stuff, and I guess this is kind of like modern. It feels a little bit like a holiday villa kind of home, especially with the pool and all of the big windows. But yeah, it was pretty tropical at the time. Whenever we would go away on holiday, we would go camping, but if we ever went to visit family who lived up in Queensland, they always lived in really open plan houses. So that's sort of, I guess, where I got the whole idea of this house. And of course it wasn't as fancy as this, although my sister's house that she built was very cool. I really liked it, but it was a little bit more on the traditional side of a Queenslander. My uncle had a really cool house. It wasn't necessarily modern. It was sort of like, I guess, old modern, but it had 2 stories, and I guess in a way this house sort of reminds me of it. Not really, but maybe I had taken some inspiration from it. I'm just trying to figure out where did I get the whole idea of this from. I used to watch a lot of TV shows that had to do with building, either if it was like Backyard Blitz or maybe, what's that one, the British one? Oh man, Grand Designs? I think it's called Grand Designs, but that one's also more of the traditional ends. I have no idea where I got this all from. It was just so random. I guess like when you're a kid, you just make whatever, and it was just a giant L. I just can't believe it's a giant L, and I had this random like backyard that I hardly used. I had pets, so the backyard was sort of like for my 2 Dalmatians that I had. I don't know why, I was obsessed with Dalmatians. So yeah, I had their own little play yard out the back, but there was no fences or anything. And the only main part of the house that was actually landscaped, like the backyard, was that area around the pool and the spa. I just think it's so funny. Yeah, now we're getting into the inside of the house. I've got majority of the planning done. So we have a little bit of a gallery as we walk in, and I definitely feel like this house did have a very gallery feel to it. There's 2 lounge rooms. There's a fancy kind of I guess, what would I say, foyer sort of lounge room, like an entrance way. And yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know, you would invite your fancy friends over and have a cup of tea in that part of the house. And then I have like a kid's room, TV room next to it, and I think that's a lot more fun. I try to be a little bit more colorful with that room. But yeah, this one's really nice. We have a fireplace, we have lots of art around the place too, lots of plants. Everything was very bright too, because you can imagine with all of those windows, there'd be just so much light cascading into the home at all times. And I really like the lighting in The Sims 4. It's very dainty and light. Yeah, it looks really airy in this room, which I'm really, really happy with. And I'm sure it didn't look this perfect in my actual build, but I kind of was just going off the feeling of like an artsy kind of couple. And they're pretty rich, you know, they really like to collect art, and they had this really nice contemporary home. And yeah, that's really what it was. I think they had like 2 kids. Yeah, they had 2 kids, and they had 2 Dalmatians, and the mum and dad's bedroom is up at the top part of the room. I remember my sister said this a while ago when she built her house, and it must have stuck in my head when I was creating this house, because basically she said that the reason why they made all of their kids' bedrooms to be at the other end of the house to their room is because they want their own privacy, you know, they want their own privacy. I know Americans say that differently. I say privacy. I don't know which way is actually the right way. Okay, that was a random thought. But anyways, so in this house, I went to the extreme with that idea of letting the parents have their own privacy. So their house is like upstairs, and it's got its own little private spa, and it's just very romantic. It's almost like a holiday ensuite, sort of like, it's very, very cool. I love it, and I'm really happy that I get to recreate this house because I had always been so proud of it, guys. Now, the kitchen, I couldn't really remember how I had designed it, but I knew that there was a big dining table. It was all connected, and we have a little bar also, and I think it turns out pretty nice. I'm pretty proud of it. It looks all right. Now, everything in this house is very like dark wood, black, white, with some wood and stone thrown in there. It's very monotone. That's why I'm glad that I threw in some plants around the place, but it's sort of meant to contrast the outside. When you look out the window, it's sort of like an art piece itself, and I didn't want it to feel like too overpowering, although nowadays I'm a little bit more colorful with my decorating, so I probably would have done it a little bit more rainbowy, maybe some more feature walls or different kinds of art around here and there, but I still like it, you know. and now we're going to be, are we going to build upstairs? Oh no, we're not. But see how I changed up this little spot here because of how I had to build the different levels for the pool. We had some extra space, so this is actually all one story, but it was kind of different because of the terrain was like going up a hill, and I thought, why not use that extra space, that little canopy we have there, I guess, above the lounge room, as extra storage space. So we have some art and little things up there, which I think is kind of cool. Now I'm getting into the TV room, so I really like this room. I tried to make it a little bit more fun, so we have lots of blues and aquas and just random pops of color here and there. I really like the couches that I chose out. I believe they're from Seasons. I haven't really actually played around with Seasons that much. I've had it installed ever since it was released. I was actually given it early access, but I was going through a lot at the time, so I unfortunately was not able to get out any content for you guys on that, but hopefully I can play around with it a little bit more in my own time. Speaking of just like playing The Sims in general, I really just want to have my own little family and play how I used to, like how I used to in The Sims 2, when I'm just like thinking back of like not actually worrying about recording, just like worrying about the family dynamic in general. I'm not sure if a lot of other creators get this way, but I feel like sometimes with Let's Plays, they just get tiresome, and it feels like you can't play the family off camera because what if something really cool happens? What if you don't get it on camera? Oh dear, end of the world. But yeah, that really, I think, took away the magic of just playing the game for me. I know that's not how it is for everybody else, it's just how I was feeling, and I think I've just been feeling tired from Let's Plays in general, from Minecraft, everything really. I've been really enjoying Roblox though because it's just such a random game. It really reminds me of like Minecraft multiplayer back in the day when all the servers were thriving. So yeah, that's the only reason why I've been really enjoying Roblox on my second channel lately. But yeah, coming back to The Sims, I really want to maybe just start a family, probably ones that are like, I don't know, plant sims, because I just adore plant sims, or there probably would be elves too, elves or plant sims. And maybe I should get them some 2 Dalmatians or something like that. Just be a little bit nostalgic. And oh man, I don't know why. I don't know why I was so obsessed with Dalmatians. Like, I've seen Dalmatians in real life. Actually, I do remember, because when I would walk to school every morning, to primary school, there was a house near the school and they had 2 Dalmatians. That's right, and they were really scary actually. Like the way they would bark at you, like if they didn't have an enclosed yard, they probably would bite you. They were terrifying. I've heard some stories about Dalmatians that they're not the kindest dogs. They're really good guard dogs though. Alrighty, so I'm gonna talk about the build again. So now we're up to the conjoined bedroom. Now the reason why it is conjoined, and I actually remember this dead set from my actual build because I built the whole thing and I was so proud of the kitchen, lounge room and the parents' bedroom that I had totally forgotten about making extra bedrooms for either guests or for the kids that I was going to have with the family. Oh my gosh. So I had to kind of just shove in a little room, and that's why the house ended up being sort of L-shaped, because I had to put in a bathroom, I needed to put in a laundry, and I needed to also put in a bedroom. So that's why it looks like an L, because it first started off as just like a giant rectangle and then it gradually turned into a giant L. So yeah, that explains the whole shape of the build. And I had a lot of fun with this conjoined bedroom for the kids, and I totally was fine with it when I was little, and even now I don't have a problem with a conjoined room between the baby and the older kid, maybe a brother or a tomboy girl. And I love that when I say girl now, I just sound like an American girl. But anyways, because when I was a kid, for the longest time, my brother and we shared a bedroom. So I have no problem with that, and I actually think it's kind of cute, you know. But the thing that isn't cute about sharing a bedroom with your other sibling is the fighting. My brother and I used to fight a lot because of it. And as soon as we started having our own bedrooms, like when my dad was like, okay, one of you can have the guest room now. Once we finally didn't have to share a room, that's when the fighting stopped, kind of, I guess. I guess you just get on each other's nerves in a way. But anyways, I think it's still kind of cute, and some kids can do it really well. I kind of feel like my brother and we couldn't. Let me know down below, do any of you guys share a bedroom with a sibling? If you do they annoy the hell out of you? How do you handle it? Oh my gosh. Oh man. But yeah, I have some fond memories of sharing a bedroom with my brother. So I'm gonna take it back. It's not like we fought all the time. My brother thinks we did, but I don't really remember it being totally that bad. Like, we would always make the whole floor into a giant kind of playground. Like, it was our toy room and our bedroom. So yeah, it was pretty crazy when I think back of how much of a mess our room was. Or just toys and stuff everywhere. Oh man. And I remember once, this is just a random thought, but our cleaning lady, because we had home help that would help out around the house and just clean up from time to time, the lady was like, okay, if you kids can't pick up your toys, I'm going to literally get a broom, and whatever is on the floor, I'm just gonna sweep up, put into your giant black bag, and it's going in the bin. So every Thursday or Friday, we would be just scrambling around trying to hide all of our toys, because this lady was gonna come in and she was gonna take our toys away and put them in the trash. Yeah, that was just such a random memory. Oh man, oh to be a child again. Yeah, we're pretty much done with the parents' bedroom up here. They have a beautiful ensuite, which is basically just a more adult version of the other bathroom. And I'm not even sure if we had an ensuite in the original house. But I do add in a barbecue area outside as well near the pool. I can't remember if I had this either, but I had a little bit extra room, so I thought, why not? And this pool is definitely more of a lap pool. I have a feeling that it was a little bit bigger in my other build, but oh well, I think it's pretty nice. Now I'm just chucking in some things for the pets in the backyard. We have some bins and stuff, and I had this giant tree in the backyard. I don't know why. Everything else is like tropical and lovely, and then I just had this giant tree for no reason at all. It was just so weird. I'll always remember that tree because it's where the dogs and stuff would always like go around. So whenever I was like training or playing with the Dalmatians, I would go into the backyard. So there's sort of a strong memory for me. I can't really remember how the pathway was up to the house though, but oh my gosh, I did remember that we had all of these really big wispy plants around the house. So those, I guess they're sort of like reeds. They're like grassy reeds, I don't know, but I put a lot of those around because I definitely remember there was a version of that in The Sims 2 that I was just a huge fan of. But yeah guys, that is it. We are going to be going through the screenshots now. Oh my gosh, I had a lot of fun creating this house. I will have it on the gallery for you guys if you want to play around with it. I know it's not like the best house ever, but it's kind of cool. It's kind of unique, you know. It came out of my brain as a 12-year-old, so it's kind of interesting. Now, I have a challenge for you guys. Why don't you go ahead, open your Sims 4 game and create your own favorite childhood dream house that you made from whatever, The Sims 1, The Sims 2, or The Sims 3, whatever game. let me know. Send me screenshots on Twitter, Instagram, whatever, or maybe even use the hashtag Kaleidow on the gallery. I would love to see you guys' dream houses as well. I just think it was just so much fun to have a little bit of a throwback. Today's secret word is going to be Dalmatian because of those two lovely Dalmatians that I had in this household. So I will be favoriting all of the comments down below that use the word Dalmatian. But you guys, I hope you all have a fantastic day. I love you all to bits, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.